Hello everyone, welcome back to Tier 2 Talk. It's been a minute, Josh. We've been busy. You're dressed in the casting attire. I'm in an
Yeah.
ITB jersey. Feels like a little bit different here. Joined by the Viperio lads today, Papp and Zodi. How you both doing?
Good,
Hello,
good, good. How
guys.
are you guys?
We're good.
Very
Well,
good.
Josh may be a little worse than me, but I'm good. I'm good.
Josh has
Josh,
done a gauntlet.
yeah, I was gonna say, how was the cast?
It
was long, mate. It was long. Yeah, that's all I'll say.
We'll leave it at that.
Yeah.
You had a lot more to say a minute ago.
Yeah. uh,
That's what
oh.
I'm talking about, yeah.
Gents, we have some Counter-Strike to talk about. Tier 2 scene, Josh, as ever, is evolving, and we have all sorts of business to jump into. Before we talk more about Tier 2, we want to talk a little bit about Viperio. Obviously, I think from what when we met in person to what it is now, the roster is significantly different. You've gone from flying in the UK flag to being traitors and switching to the European instead.
Yeah.
Maybe we start about the end of 2023, Josh. I think that's always the best place to start, because obviously, for those that maybe don't know, me and Josh had the privilege of casting the Season 0 Grand Finals that Endpoint hosted under the UKIC, and that was in their HQ. Obviously, we got to meet you guys there. It was yourselves, Verdant, oh my god, the Duck Goose, yeah, exactly, and winners K10.
Yeah.
You were in a bit of a rebuild phase then, weren't you? So maybe do you want to explain to us like how we got into that conundrum and how we got where we are now?
Well, I got to play, so that was a bit of fun.
Ancient go,
ancient go. Yeah, you guys like to point out. Yeah, well, I mean, at the time, it was rough timing really, because we just left. So we won Premiership in September of last year. Then our contracts were running out with the Raptors guys, so we were sort of like in between. What are we going to stay? Are we going to look for something else? So we then, of course, decided to look for something else found by Viperio. And during that time, we had a player. We just signed with Viperio. Awaken got bought out literally the week we'd signed. So then the UKIC had roster locked, and then our player got bought out. So then, all right, we did Norpa. We were benching a rifler that had already been done. So we'd benched a rifler, got a trialist in who was just there at the time. So the original plan was Awaken just there, Zodi, Marco, and Regan. But then when Awaken got bought, it left us in a bit of a tough one. They wouldn't let us. They wouldn't make an exception for like a player buyout. So yeah, I had to play. And as we know, we did very well at the event. So yeah, that's how we ended up in that little mess anyway. So it was sort of, I guess you could say it's our own fault in terms of like benching someone, but either way, we'd end up at the event with no AWPer. So, well, he wouldn't have been good anyway. Let's be honest.
You did well then, don't worry.
Because after this LAN, you picked up like Mango pretty quickly. I don't think it was
Yeah.
long until you made changes after the LAN. So
No.
did you know, I suppose maybe at the LAN, that those were
Yeah.
the players that you were going to pick up?
Pretty much,
we knew.
yeah.
Yeah.
Sorry,
We knew the
yeah,
two guys, didn't we, coming in?
Yeah, we knew he was gonna probably pick them up. Like we'd been trialing them, but we weren't allowed to use them for the event because of the roster locks.
Yeah, we were sort of stuck. Like, yeah, we'd been trialing for like 2 weeks before, because obviously there was like a 2-week period where we knew Slav like Awaken wasn't going to be there, so we had to look for an AWPer for other stuff. And then we could have pulled out of the event itself, but everyone wanted to obviously go. It was like good little bit of fun, and they haven't done the event since, like in the same capacity. So it was a good experience anyway for everyone. And yeah, it was a shame like to not put out a better team, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think the circuit's getting bigger and bigger though, Ryan. I mean, even like UKIC's put out a new season. We're playing in Div 3 and there's like 40 teams. It's like, what is going on? I think.
Yeah, I don't know where everyone's going on. Yeah, where they all come from.
Yeah, more people are buying in. I mean, yeah, I think it's obviously you guys won't be playing in it now, but it's good for the scene as an overall perspective to. I mean, eventually get more Div 3 dogs, up to Tier 2, and then, like, eventually get on the ladder.
Yeah, definitely. That's what ultimately that's what the UKC needs. And when it lost Premiership, it needed something to take that place. To keep. Oh, we need 3 UK players. Things like that, because if all of a sudden there was nothing that required like UK players, there was going to be a lot of UK teams that were going to be, European. Because there are, I'm sure, like we were in that position. There's some teams that keep the UK players just simply because they're UK and they're like half decent. So there is that like dilemma as well when you have a roster. But it's good that I think the UKIC thing is really good, and that experience that we had was great. Like for everyone involved. I do worry. I don't know what it's doing now though with the finals. Like only the final being on the land. You have to travel over for like one best of three, then travel back. That's a bit of a disappointment. But I don't know what the future holds with that.
What about this Czech fellow that you've got as well? Because Mango, I'd
Mm.
cast once or twice, but when I saw the announcement, I was like, Brev, I don't know who this is. I've never seen him at all.
Yeah. Me and Dan used to play with him like I don't know about like 2 years ago, I think, in like a really really old team. I think we was in like intermedia or open. I'm not sure. I think inters.
It wasn't
And
great.
then we played with him like 2 years ago. Found him on like the old like ESCA forum. I think like the old like looking for team on the ESCA. We
Yep.
just trialed him, picked him up, and then didn't really speak to him much for like a year after that team disbanded. And then he had been on like I think there were Dark Tigers at the time, that the Slovakian Czech team, and I think they were in advance as well. So he had been on like decent teams, but he
was a
wasn't
devil
like
in
super
Topic
known.
Future, wasn't he?
Oh, in Topic Future as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
so he's like been knocking around like, and he's
Yeah.
in like with all the good Czech players, you know. So we knew him, and we knew he had potential, and it's one of them like you're like lurking in the waters of trying to find like the gems, you know, of like you don't really know because you can't go out and throw like an empty checkbook at them, you know. So it's like you're trying to find people you sort of know you can rely on. They can be quite good. But yeah, he was a unknown one. But he's not with us anymore either. So he's gone now too. We're in like another little transition phase at the moment. It seems to sort of come every like 6 months or so. But no, he's a good player. I think he could surprise people. I think Marco as well. Marco really liked him.
Well, do you want to maybe talk about that? Because I think you had what, a good 4 or 5 months without a single change, and then all of a sudden it's just like kind of all come at once again now. So sort of the last few changes. Do you want to give us some insight into all of them?
Yeah, sure. So essentially, like our contract period is like a rolling 6 months, you know. So we get around every 6 months and we see what we want to do. So that's a big part of it. Why there's a lot of changes around those sort of times. Marco, of course, got an offer from ExoClan, which they became, and he still had like the intentions of wanting to, strictly stick to the UKCS stuff. And he obviously, we had Adam play with us a few times, so he got on quite well with Adam and Beve. So he obviously decided to go with that. They bought him out, so he went there. Regan was a bit of a tough one because he was like the last remaining UK chance we had of keeping a core. Like if we could get someone else, maybe we'd have 2 or 3. But ultimately, like with Regan, it was more like he doesn't really commit to the game. Like he doesn't play a lot. He had a lot of stuff with uni. So that clashed, like his schedule. He was really busy with exams. So we had to really make a change there because we have so many games like all the time. Like we had an official at 9 a.m. this morning. We had one on Monday at 9 a.m. You're playing like all the time, and then you got to practice as well. So his schedule just didn't really line up, or his like I guess passion like for the game, whether he still thinks he can go pro, because that's ultimately what you need. You need people that want to be pro, want to play a lot. So we had to make a decision there. So Marco left, obviously gone, not really our decision. Regan was our decision, and now Pandito's going to be leaving more for like personal reasons. So he's going to be dropping to the bench for a bit. So they're the only real changes we're going to see, I think, with our guys. And we've picked up some European guys. So unfortunately, we lost the UK core, or the remnants of the UK core that we had.
Still get you done.
Yeah, if I count. I don't know if I count really. But yeah, it's a hard one to keep the UK, when there's so little like player base. I mean, at the top it's like it was us, Verdant, K10, but they're not UK anymore really. They've only got 2. Obviously ExoClan now, and like from there on, it's quite a big gap down, And then again, I think UK players we struggle because once you're like 20, 21 in the UK, you've got to start thinking about, you know, finishing uni or what I got to get a job, and that's just hard, you know, to balance with this Counter Strike because you just get invites. You get an invite for CCT. Oh, next week CCT Monday. Next week, you know, United 21 Tuesday, and it's just like that. You don't know you're playing like 4 days later, and some people, of course, don't have the flexibility, I guess, to like hold up to that.
Yeah, I think no disrespect to you guys as well, Pat. But Ryan, we get a lot of guys that are on the show that are like full time, fully
Yeah, yeah.
committed. I think you've got to realize when you're at that lower
Yeah.
division, when you're in with local talent, it is
Yeah.
they've got uni, they've got second
Yeah,
jobs.
exactly.
It's not the same as. I mean, I know fucking Nexus played 4 best of 3s 2 days ago,
Yeah,
and then had a
literally.
9 a.m. game the next day.
Yeah.
It sounds like, oh mate, I've got to go back to sleep. Like that's fucking mental. That's
Yeah.
just crazy. That wouldn't
Yeah,
happen in
yeah.
the UK scene at
No,
all.
no. The problem is though, is like if you don't try, obviously, like I say it all the time, like even to the players, you know, if people have like people of course have school and stuff, and we're not like you can't be super strict with it because you don't ultimately you don't get enough out of it, you know, until you make it to like really like sacrifice everything. But I think the problem is if you don't try like as hard as you can, or if you turn down invites, the invite might not come again. You know, that's the problem, and you have to play all of them to keep getting back in, and then they sort of feed into each other. The invites, you know, you play in United 21 all the time. EU Pro League will invite you. Then you play in those, you do well. The CCT will invite you, and like so it is hard. It's like a really hard balance because we are like competing with teams that are mostly like full time. Like most of the teams we play against are full time. They just yeah, they pay a bit more money. They a lot of them, yeah, in the UK the cost of living's a lot higher, isn't it? Of course, so it is hard. Like it is hard. I think the only teams that we've got in the UK that are playing full time is Exo Clan, Verdant, Endpoint. That's probably it. Probably.
Yeah.
Are K10 not? I think K10 are as well, though.
Yeah, K10 might play
I think so.
full time.
I'm not sure. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I suppose now the question is, are you guys going to go to LANs in the future? Because when you have a UK core, I think it's quite easy to go to Epic or when it was Premier I-Series. But now is maybe DreamHack more of like a beneficiary? Because I know they've got like the Yonkaping ones. I know there's not many good teams that go there. But with having a European team, is BOIOCs even on the cards for this year?
Yeah, I think we actually wanted to do it. I think it's more. I think the DreamHack one, from what I heard, is like not very good, but I'm not too sure about that. I think like there's not
Yeah,
that
Swedish
many
guys
good
reckon it's
teams.
not that good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think the last one was like Apex Rebels and Godsend in the final, and then everyone else was like level 4s and level 5s
Yeah.
the whole tournament. It's like there's no point.
Maybe we can win.
Yeah, I mean the problem with that is like it's just kind of like you waste like 1 or 2 days playing the group stage and you just like farm everyone, and it's like it's not really that beneficial to go to. Whereas like I think Epic Line actually has like decent teams, and like
Yeah.
there's like at least like 3, 4. Sometimes it's quite good. Sometimes
Yeah.
there's like a good mix in there as well. Like Cypher sometimes makes certain stuff like that. So it's I mean I think we spoke about going to an Epic once, like once or twice, but I'm not sure if we're gonna do it.
Yeah, I think cost-wise, it's not that bad. It's not as bad as you think because, like, the train, you know, if I want to get the train up to Epic, it costs me 100 quid. You know, whereas the guy flying the guy over from Denmark costs 80 quid. So
it's cheaper.
It's not actually that bad. I think we'll go to. Like, ultimately, we want to go to one this year. Probably the October one is more like likely. Just because, yeah, I'm also conscious that like we're become like we've played through the UK scene the whole time. Like we've gone to a few epics, we've played Premiership, we've done Insomnia. Like you don't like, at least I don't want to like come fully out of that. Of course, it's harder to take people that's like not living in the country, but I think while it makes sense, like Octobers are normally quite stacked, aren't they? Like October Epic, you get 5-6 teams there that are pretty good, and then normally the February one. So I think October, I want to do something. Like it's hard when you just do online, you got nothing to look forward to in terms of like an event, unless you qualify for something, of course. But Epic Land's a nice one to go to, and HSUE, nice HSUE, nice HSUE game there.
Yeah.
So yeah, hopefully we'll be there with the bin men.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we're always there.
Yeah. See you on. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, you got
Brad hasn't won one yet, so he needs to win one.
Yeah, sure.
Could happen at some point.
What a loser. Yeah.
I suppose the only thing to round up this and move on to the events is just maybe give us some goals for this year. I mean, it's probably quite difficult when you've got players coming in and coming out regularly, but what is realistic, right? I mean, top 30 on HLTV.
Yeah.
But what
That's
is
what they all want.
realistic?
I think, I mean, for me, like, ultimately, I think our goal is to compete on HLTV like consistently as possible. You know, playing in the best tournaments we can realistically play, and maybe like magic up a nice run in something. I think like top 80, top 70 is really like where we want to get to, like, and be consistently around that area. You know, there's no point in pretending we can really aim for like top 50 when you've got Team Secret and stuff out there struggling with their budget to get there's some pretty crazy budgets out there struggling in the top 90. Realistically, top 100, top 70, like in that sort of bracket. Maybe a couple online event wins, like last year we picked up a couple like United 21s. They were quite nice. Just that's where we want, like, a nice CCT main event. We've should have been there like the last 2 times. Keep having to play with stand-ins in the decider, which is a bit unfortunate. But ultimately, just like I think establishing ourselves as like a HLTV regular, CCT regular, that type of. I think that's where our sort of goal is.
Yeah, I think, Ryan, we've seen it in the past, like when we had artists and that, like when they were doing the RMR campaign and everything, like we do see at times like more so local competition, but you can just get into the cycle of like you have one good run, the HLTV world ranking goes up, and that's just it. The invites are just coming everywhere. Like you're playing on HLTV game in, game out, but you just need to keep it up.
Yeah, it's just a grind. It literally is just a grind. You got to play it like all the time. That's where it's like circles back to. You just need to play so much. I think we're in like 6 events at the moment. Like it's just a bit wild.
I think the Espionage Sashi team, like, put a couple of tweets out about it. Tomorrow they're playing in the grand final, Ryan, and they'll be playing their 150th match on HLTV in the last 3 months. And they're playing like a few of these Liquipedia events as well that just aren't even HLTV. They're playing like the odd European Pro League where group stage is not even on HLTV, and you're like, fuck, like how is that even possible? Like that is just a crazy amount of officials.
I think as well, like we see it an awful lot in tier 2, as you were talking about. I don't want to call it luck as per se, but you just need like that one big run. You need that one fortunate run in an event that's on HLTV. And as you mentioned, like the rest is history, because once you get into those double-digit rankings, like top 100, top 90, top 80, you're going to see like your Compass Swiss system invites, your Elisa regional invites. You're going to see CCTs. All of these tier 2 TOs are just checking the rankings, and they'll knock on your door if you get there. So yeah, it's
the thing,
exactly.
It's the problem, isn't it? It's like, especially for you guys, I guess, a part-time, it's like you've got to balance like work life and your home life as well as this like gaming, and then on top of that, you still got to find a way to commit to the grind enough to make like the top 90 or top 100 to then get the invites to then be able to rely on it more.
Literally. And then I got part-time jobs. So I can't play the 9 AM game tomorrow. That's literally.
Start over again.
Oh god, that is what it's like. We're a bit unfortunate. Like when we won Premiership, it literally put us 59th in the world. Like that, just winning like one weekend, just put us up to 59th for whatever it was. And it was a bit unfortunate timing because it was like the end of CS:GO, so like there was that big break, no CCT and stuff.
Yeah.
So I guess we didn't get to capitalize like fully on that, but we're in the circle now. Like we get the opportunities. Like if we're good enough, you're gonna do well. Like we get the playing invites. If you're good enough, you'll make the main event. So that's sort of where we're at, I think.
Yeah. See, what we need, Ryan, is we need like Viperio to do like the Viperio Cups, where they just invite Viperio, almost like what BetBoom do with their
BetBoom,
overinflate the ranking, because that's happening already.
Yeah, just get us an invite, like Binmen, Viperio, invite a couple of level 4 teams, like front.
Yeah, you guys will get a CCT invite.
It's actually a genius idea. You make it an online event, you make it like 100k prize pool, winner takes all, and you just invite bots to the tournament, and it just pumps up the ranking. Done.
We're doing really good lately on 100 win streak. Yeah, we do need something like that desperately.
Let's make it happen.
There you go.
We do.
That'd be nice.
That's a
Alright.
great idea. Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll switch over now and talk about maybe the more structured events of Counter-Strike, Josh.
Big
Um,
time ones.
Yeah, exactly. I don't know in particular where you want to start. Do you want to just go like top down on the list that we have?
Yeah, we can do. I think again, this is going to be more focused for the Viperio guys, and the tier 3 talk is, you know, getting on with some of the lower level events that we're not too familiar with. But there are, I will say, there are teams that like Eklot are like playing in this. And it's like, what
Yeah.
are they doing there?
Yeah.
Like you get
Just want
from
the
time
money.
to time. Yeah, maybe.
I think. Well, I think. I don't know, well, the problem is a lot of it is the group stage is not HLTV, and then the rest is, right. So, like Eklot can come in, they can get top 2 most times. They get some of them like pretty decent like prize. I think like United 21 happens every 3 weeks, and it's like a 10k prize for every time. Yeah, it's not too bad.
Have you ever spoken to the organisers directly, Papp? Because I've got no clue who these
Yeah,
United 21 guys are.
Yeah. I spoke to him. It's like,
There's a story.
AI.
There's a story brewing. There is a story brewing.
No, I can't. The invites are stopped. They're very nice. They're very nice. They're very flexible with schedules. And yeah, the invite just comes. You just get a Discord message with a Google Doc, and then if you do well, they'll PayPal you some money. that's all I know. They wink at you.
Not a bad life to live.
Yeah.
Well,
No, they're all right. Yeah, they're good.
we'll hit rewind a bit, Josh, and start with season 14, and then we'll sort of move forward into 15 and so forth. This is cool, by the way. Liquipedia with a dark theme now, Josh. I bet.
Yeah,
I bet you're running
That's
this, aren't you,
great. Oh
Josh?
my
Oh,
God.
look at the flashbang on everyone's faces. There you go. I'll turn it off. I'll turn it off. It's like when someone opens the curtain when you got like school on a Monday, and it's like fuck, like get out of my face.
Oh, put dark mode on, mate.
Yeah. Don't worry, it stays on here. It stays on. Real quick, we can have a little gloss through last season's stuff, right, and then maybe sort of catch up with this season's. You guys playing in Group C. We can talk a little bit more about the playoff run as such in a second. But just to start with the groups, opening game against Nom. For those at home that don't know this Nom team, they are the like the Israeli core, Shushan, Moore, Meztal. They're playing with Danny, I guess from like the times at Kixan with
the North Macedonia.
yeah,
Blue Jays.
Jays, that's it. Yeah, and then
yeah.
JCE, who I have no clue who
No
JCE
clue,
is,
yeah.
but
Yeah, no, he's around.
fair enough.
One.
Do you want to maybe just talk us through
He's
this?
unreal,
Yeah.
He's well good.
Do you
Anime
wanna-
pictures.
Do you wanna have a little chat about this then? Because obviously you lose your opening game, and then backs against the wall, and you manage to pull through and get the win where it matters.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that to be fair, that group stage was a bit of a mess because I think if you go on the Viperio PG game, I think we used like 2 stand-ins, or was it the Nom game? On it.
Oh, we can't even
yeah.
see.
Okay.
Stage,
But
unlucky.
Yeah.
but I think we used like 2 stand-ins for that one because it was in the middle of changing players, and then somehow ended up winning with 2 stand-ins. Like just played like super loose CS. And just,
Yeah, it was shortly after when Marco moved
was when
on
Marco
to
left,
X. So
yeah.
we that was when we were getting in a replacement, and then at the same time, we were obviously thinking about changing Regan. Those Nom guys, I mean, you never know who was going to show up with them. That's the problem, and because they're from that little talent pool, they can turn up with some really good players. I half expect Flames to turn up sometimes. So yeah, they were quite hard. Like a decent little team. The only one was JC. That was a bit random. Once we lost them, yeah, we had to play the PG guys.
I think maybe it was the second time we played Nom. Actually, we used stand-ins. I'm not too sure.
But the PG, I mean, the group stages are quite a bit random. Like PG, they're normally okay.
I was gonna say those guys play on HLTV
Yeah.
fairly often.
Yeah, they're good. And we
They're
lost to them
decent.
in ESCA like just like a week before that maybe, or 2 weeks. I'm not too sure.
Yeah, we lost to them.
It
a
was
couple
quite
weeks
nice to
back.
beat them after.
I think we used this sort of group. We used that group stage as like, to be honest, like it was sort of just, oh, we're in it. We'll play it, and see how it goes. And then when we went 0-2 down to Nom the first time, knowing that we already lost to PGE, like we thought, well, it might be quite hard with like obviously a couple of new players. But then yeah, we beat them, which can happen in these games. They're a bit random sometimes. But yeah, I think that group was quite nice. I mean, if you look at the other groups, they're actually a bit it suited a bit hard. I mean, the Illuminar Game of Legions, that was the old Sashi though, wasn't it? Of course.
Yeah, that was
Yeah.
the one. Yeah.
Yeah,
the,
yeah.
Yeah, that Sashi was nice to play. That one was free one. Yeah, these group stages are a bit weird. Sometimes they can be like surprisingly hard. You know, they're not
Yeah.
always. You can get some pretty stacked groups in there.
And what about
Like
the
it-
playoffs then? Because you get K10 in your opening game. Do you look at that as a derby? Like I know you
Yeah,
guys.
I do.
Yeah,
You do,
yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
especially because we know them as well a little bit. So it's like,
The org does. I mean, you
yeah,
know when
the
we're playing
org
a
as
UK game
well.
because the org's messaging, but 2 hours before the game starts. Everyone wait, boys. I'm like, oh, you don't do this every day. It's a bit different. Yeah, I mean that's always a fun one. We haven't lost to K10 unless I've played. So we've got like a thing with K10. So if they ever need a
Yeah.
win, I'll just play. K10's a nice one. Yeah, you see it as a derby. Them, Verdant, like we play them all the time. They're always fun. I don't think they probably see it as a derby anymore. But maybe the org owners do. They all hate each other, don't they? All the org owners nowadays seem to beef on Twitter. K10 was good game.
And then you get the polls, and to be fair, I was just having a look at their lineup, Ryan. Like they look very different to the Illuminar that I remember. I know PR and Furlan's still there, but it's like what's
Yeah,
happened?
you
Like,
got
these
Ultimate
guys
now.
were like
Yeah.
a high-end tier 2 team. For,
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
PR and Furlan in particular had always played at a high-end tier 2.
Yeah, I actually think those guys have been doing really good. Like, in they've, I can't remember what it's called. It's like Polska Liga or something like the Polish
Oh
league.
yeah, yeah.
And
yeah.
I don't think they've lost a game in that. They beat like some really good teams, like the Polos team, whatever their name is. Who they're like top 50 or
That
something.
random mixed team, yeah, Polo
Yeah.
and
The guys
yeah.
who beat like Heroic in the qual and stuff as well.
Yeah, you can't pronounce
but-
the name. It's so
Yeah, I'm
random.
not sure what they're called, but I think like two of them were like pretty young players, and one of them came from that PG team. I think that Anorax came from PG, but they were like really high elo faces. Like I actually think those guys are pretty good.
But
Yeah,
even-
Illuminar's
go
one you play a lot. I can say the Illuminat, this team, they are different like every season, and they've always got Furlan's always there, and Charles always there. They're still knocking about, and then I guess it's fine the other three. But yeah, I don't know what happened with Illumina because they had their previous team Polo and Loco, I think it was, right? Those
Cloco
guys.
and Nesty
yeah,
and that.
Nesty. And obviously Nesty went to Game of Legion Academy, but then got dropped because he was too old. Which is yeah, that's random. But yeah, they're good team. They made the CCT, and I think they beat Nexus. That lineup
Yeah, I
there.
think it
But
is. Yeah.
Nexus are a bit hit and miss, aren't they, at the moment?
Fair enough.
Yeah.
You play against Johnny Speeds next, obviously top in Group D.
Rem, I don't know, Ryan.
yeah.
How has Chauzy been like dragged into rifling again? Like we've
Yeah.
about this years
Nah,
ago.
like, I-
Literally
don't.
years ago.
You'll hit a nerve, Josh. You'll hit a nerve. I promise you. Yeah, I mean, on paper, this is a sick team, by the way.
It's actually not bad. It's not bad.
really good. I guess when you've got Draken on the team, like Chauzy naturally is gonna have to rifle
It's
in
like,
that sense.
why?
But
Why is that? Why?
I remember on what was it like? I forgot the name of the team.
GXR?
Yeah, Galaxy
Yeah,
Race.
Galaxy
Yeah,
Racer,
Galaxy Racer. Like that was where he had his like real moment of crop up success, wasn't it? Like he was
Yeah, him
AWPing.
and Joel
Like
was
I
like that.
remember just watching him constantly on overpass, and he would just farm, like absolutely destroy
Yeah.
people AWPing. But I guess I don't know if it's a more comfortable thing for him, like maybe a hit to the stats, but feels happier on rifles, or if it's just like him just having, like not the ego per se, but it's like, oh well, you're playing with
Give in.
Draken, like fuck off, like you're
Yeah.
rifling here, you
Yeah.
know. So I don't know, but either way, like you take them to 3 maps, you can bring it up on HLTV. This is where it gets cool. You might even think that it could have been a 2-0 for you on any other day.
Yeah, we definitely
Yeah.
should have won this. We definitely should have won this. I scroll down. Who did we have that game? Who turned up? So yeah, this is okay. So we actually played with our normal lineup. Yeah, we should have. I mean, we should have won that. We just picked up Uppy not too long before, so he'd only been in the team like a week probably. I think it's a bit hard because when you start and you chop and change, like your map pool's always really weak. And they're of course they're like a mix. So there's no excuse, but they're a mix of really good players. So it's a bit random, isn't it? And Inferno, we picked Inferno because we liked it for a couple of days.
Days, is that all it took?
Yeah, we liked it for a bit. And then Anubis, isn't it? It's just a bit wild. Yeah, this was all right. I remember Draken like won him a couple of rounds. It's just like, how's he
he's
done
really
that?
good.
They just have that in their locker sometimes. They can just they can just decide they want to play and just get 4K. So cheers, man.
I think you could very easily look at that team and be like, oh, that's a 0-0 prospects, or like that's
Yeah,
a godsend
definitely.
team. Like that is a
Yeah.
middle of the pack tier 2, like frequently playing on HLTV kind of caliber opposition. I know that they've been, I see Draken tweeting about it all the time of like trying to get picked up on Twitter. They're trying their best to try and get an organization, but all the Swedish orgs just pulled out. Like,
Yeah, I
dunno.
don't know what's going on with that. Like, obviously, we're like, obviously, we just got Uppy, and he's in with like the young ninja guys. So we get a bit of the Swedish scoops now. There's a lot of young players over there that are really good. It does make you wonder where all the money's gone.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a weird one. It's a bit like Denmark though. Like in Denmark, there's so many good players over there, but all the orgs seem to be dropping by the week. So it is a bit strange. But yeah, like you say, it is a good team on paper, that Johnny Speeds. But I think we should. That is a game we look back on and think we should have won. To be honest.
Yeah, for sure.
Then your exit game against Unity.
Yes, this is where we had a wild morning.
Yeah.
As you can see, it says the substitutes at the top there. So we've been trialing. So we've been testing this Detst, another Swedish player. He most recently played with Navi Junior, and we were planning to try him for this game, and this was at 9 a.m. He messaged me like an hour before saying he's got a power cut, so he can't make it for the first map. Then I literally have to find someone at 8 a.m. or who's half decent that could play like HTV match quickly. So we ended up playing the first map with this young Danish kid, Craig. And as you can see, he had a good time. It was actually his birthday, funny enough. If you can believe it.
Oh, what a birthday present that must be.
Fucking happy,
0.5, mate, have that.
happy birthday, 0.56, double neg, you're out, see you later, mate. Yeah.
Put that on your wall. So he played the first map and we got rolled over, and then we had a bit more of a fight on. We won their map pick on Nuke. We then got Detst in for that one, and played with like a normal lineup. And Vertigo like full trolled that one from memory. I think we lost both pistols.
Yeah, we lost 2 ecos as well. I think
We lost
two
first two
anti-ecos. It was just a mess. It was bad.
But
Really
yeah,
bad.
it's surprising though, because I thought Unity were were okay, but we had a good run. This is a bit of an annoying tournament because I think if you compare it to like the last 3 months where we had a stable 5, we didn't have a decent run. And the second you start chopping and changing, you end up into 3rd place and a couple HLTV appearances. It's just like ironic, you sit there practice for 3 months and have the same 5 people playing every single game. The one time you sort of one guy's going to leave and we're going to bench a player, we have this decent run and ultimately it sort of bites you at the end. It's still nice to have a good run, of course. It was good.
Should we talk about this season then, Ryan?
Yes, number 15. As you say, they happen every week. Just to give some perspective,
Literally.
season 14 started on the 1st of the 4th, 2024. Season 15 started on the 25th of the 4th, 2024. So it's like we're some quick turnaround times here on the 10K pools. And I must admit, looking at the teams in this season of United 21, I think it's safe to say that we're kind of hitting the same ballpark in level of teams.
About roughly, yeah.
Like obviously we've got returning Johnny Speeds. We'll have a look at that in a sec. Obviously you got the Preezy side, which is the Preezy Academy that are now promoted to Preezy because they ran out of money. Who are now Granny's Knockers, by the way. What the fuck's going on there? Anyway, we'll maybe touch on that when it comes to the changes. Obviously you got you guys, Verdant are back, Unity are back, K10 are there. Feels like in this tournament the UK scene, I'm going to class it as the scene, we're getting some love here, right? Like obviously for the Gamer Legion Academy guys, you've got like LVM was coaching them, right, or still is,
Yeah.
or
Yeah,
something like
yeah.
that. You got obviously you guys, Verdant, K10, EXO. You know, we're
Mix.
we're getting there. Obviously this season's ongoing, so we're still yet to pencil in a lot of these results and stuff. You guys have got your last game against the Turao boys. Bet
Yeah,
that's
again.
bet that's
Can't
fun.
wait for that one.
Yeah.
Sunday morning, those 9 a.m. Be there.
Oh yeah, 9 a.m. May 3rd. There you go.
Be there. The man will be on the side of the picture of his dog watching that one. Yeah, we had a nice game this morning versus Verdant. Yeah, that was Monday.
European
That
Pro
was
League.
Monday.
Yeah, this
so
is
the
Monday.
European, though. Yeah, it's all the
Solid
same.
player.
Yeah. Yeah, this was fun. It's a fun group this is the first time we played Verdant in 6 months, 7 months, long time. We always play K10. And of course maybe we'll get EXO at some point, but yeah, we always seem to play the same one. So it was quite fun to play Verdant. They've just made a change as well. They've just got
A French
the
player,
French
haven't
guy.
they?
Yeah, Divi.
Yeah,
He's really good. So they're looking quite good with their roster. And then Yano's in there. Alu giving out wins.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds about right. Same as Hamu, really.
Yeah.
Cheers, mate. Yeah, he turned up for a
Mate,
game.
That is a proper like old school team. Dotto, Alu, and
Yeah.
I know.
in there. It's like, geez, they are running it back.
Yeah.
I know. I'm not even as old as some of them. I might jump in for a game. We played them. I think 2-1. We got absolutely smoked on Nuke.
Yeah.
Oh, they're
Then
Nuke
it's-
warriors. They always have been.
Yeah.
Literally, yeah.
It's the Finnish scene, isn't it? It's
Yeah,
like
Kova, Yano, Hamu,
Yeah,
just Nuke.
the
demons.
classic, the classic.
Well, we looked like the week before this game, or not even a week before, they played Sangao on HLTV and they like 13-2'd them on Nuke as well.
Yeah,
So we're just gonna have to
13-3, I
close
think.
our eyes, aren't we? Just put Nuke on and just turn the screen off. But yeah, so fingers crossed we can have a decent game against PGE. I mean, Verdant turned them over, so. But our group was actually quite generous here. I mean, like even Game of Legion Academy, those guys have been doing really good now as well.
Yeah.
EXO had a bit of a disappointing group stage.
Yeah.
And then Nom, I don't know who Nom, but that's the thing with Nom, you don't know who's
Still
actually on there.
the Israeli guys, I think, and that Danny guy, I think.
Oh, here we go.
That's
We got some Polish
Polish
power
guys
in
now.
now. Just
Yeah,
fucking
Hot dog, is it?
Yeah, mix it up a bit.
sprinkling in all the
Yeah.
flags that we can at this point. Yeah.
That's what I mean. It's just it's just a bit of a random one every time. Copenhagen Wolves. I mean,
Paycheck Steelers, bro. Like honestly,
Copenhagen Wolves.
Oh, 100%. Like,
Yeah.
there's actually
Yeah.
some decent players on that team. Like Svedjahead, we saw in
Lil
Little
Mix,
Mix, I
yeah.
think. Fessor, like, was
Astralis
farming on
days.
Astralis Talent.
Yeah.
Basso has been like in and around the Copenhagen Flames, like tricked teams for a while. Like Shane, he was that first at IGL or first rifle, I should say, on the Mouse NXT, and was like the only one that didn't basically progress out of the whole team.
Yeah.
I don't know. That lineup is like okay on paper, and I swear I never see them on HLTV ever.
No.
Yeah, I don't know.
mean,
I feel like they should perform with that team, and like, but I'm not. I don't even know who's open on that team actually. Who's the offer?
I mean, did you see the game box, Lan?
Gamebox.
Like-
Oh yeah, the Gamebox invitation. I saw a couple
The
of photos
Danish,
of it.
the Danish Epic Lan.
Yeah,
It's
yeah.
like that one was like. I mean, that team should be doing quite good. I don't think they did. I think they got quarterfinal or semi-final and just lost. Like,
I
when
think,
you
even Black's Masonic, Ryan, who's got like no one now.
Yeah,
all their
yeah,
good
that
players,
is-
like,
that
they
is
did
crazy.
really well with that.
They
one.
won it.
They won.
Oh,
Yeah,
they won it. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I was following a little bit of it. And
crazy.
other than I can't remember what their IGL's called. The big fella.
Frostlu.
Frostlev, that's it. He's
Yeah,
still
yeah.
there, but then they
Yeah,
had
they
a
got
really
like a
good
bunch of
lineup at
young
one point.
players. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're Botman. A guy called Botman just farmed everyone out of nowhere.
Yeah.
Never played HLTV before. He just farmed everyone. He had Astralis Talent. He had a few like salary teams turn up. I don't think Masonic are probably getting paid anything at the moment. I'd be very surprised if they are. But yeah,
So-
you're right. Paycheck stealers is
Yeah.
the term I would have gone with, to be fair. But I didn't know it was that type.
Yeah, we get a few of them in tier 2, mainly towards the higher end. But Zodi, do you ever play, like, do you ever mix at those game box events? Because I think in the past, because I follow a little bit of it when we cast the Danish teams. There's like the MPF lands, there's the game box, and then there's the Dust 2 DK lands. Is that like
Yeah.
it at the moment?
Yeah, I think nah, there's a couple other ones, but they're like lower tier.
Right.
Like there's like I think the price was like $1,000 or something. And some of the
Okay.
smaller ones. They don't do the Copenhagen games anymore.
that's gone.
Unfortunately. But no, I've never played any of those LANs. I've played the Dust 2 League, but not the LAN. I think the LAN is only the top 4. Like if you get top 4 in the league, it's like the UKIC one, basically. But no, I never played them, unfortunately.
They
I
look
would
quite
like to.
good.
They look good, yeah. I think the game box one looks really good, from what I've seen, the pictures and stuff like that.
It's like a convention, right? So it's
Yeah, I
like
think
more
it's like a-
iSeries than Epic. I
Yeah,
think.
exactly.
so.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's like that. Yeah.
And you have a couple. I mean, they had what are they called? Sync turned up, didn't they? Last
Yeah,
one.
that was last year.
Sync
Yeah.
randomly just turned up and won it.
I think they were at a Finnish LAN as well.
Yeah, they were. It was like, yeah.
Yeah. Do you want to come to
Yeah.
That would be fun. I remember turning up to Insomnia's like back in when they were like I-30, I think it was 36 or something. When I was like 15, and you had like the Frenchies turn up, and you had a lot of European teams turn up to the UK ones then. Whereas I think if like one of them turned up now, everyone would be a bit full shocked, wouldn't they? Because like if Sync just turned up at Epic Land, everyone would be like, what the fuck's going on? But I think it'd be quite cool. Like Epic Land is definitely, well, Mischief likes to say it's the best BYOC in Europe. So
I mean, technically by size, it is the best BYOC in
Yeah.
Europe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But obviously, UK flag probably being flown a little bit more than for it to be called a European LAN. I think it's safe to say. I mean, there's like 1% of Epic LAN is like imported talent. The rest is just pissheads at the bar. That's all it is.
And anyone want to play?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, true.
We have one more event to kind of reel through here, Josh, for the Viperio boys, and that is of course
Yeah.
EPL, but not ESL Pro League. It's European Pro League. It's
Mate, we can talk about that. We played conference.
yeah.
Let's roll it back.
This is ESL Pro League with the gloves off, right? This is
This is
We've
where
had a
the
couple-
action is.
yeah, this is it.
Yeah.
This is it.
This is the Wild West of Counter Strike, mate. You get a lot of angry people in the chat when you lose this one.
Yeah.
It is insane that Zero Tenacity is like playing in this tournament. 'Cause
Bro.
they actually look well.
Oh yeah, Josh. Yeah, we love a bit of good Zero
Well, like
Tenacity talking, don't we, Josh?
Have you seen them now? His ratings is doubling by the end. It's gonna be on 4 next year.
Oh man, it is a hot prospect. Right there.
Oh.
Do you know what I do find entertaining is like Tom Case, the coach of Sinners, and Neofrag.
They
He's just like
fucking-
full out on.
Yeah, they don't
They don't
care.
care. Yeah.
Like, not even. Oh, they might be. No, they are.
Yeah. So that's what it's like. It's like it's black or white on Twitter, isn't it?
Oh.
They're cheating or they're not cheating. It's always like that. It's like
Oh.
Para. Para's just
Para radar.
Para,
yeah.
Para, Camion just made everyone paranoid in the scene. Everyone's cheating now.
Oh.
Yeah, they're interesting. Marco's got to play them tomorrow, so that'll be fun. He's gonna have a good time.
Watch out for the con spam, Josh, that I sent you on Twitter.
Oh man,
Yeah,
even Para are at Pro League, aren't they? Because they came
Yeah.
through from conference.
Yeah.
Camion's
Speaking-
gone now, though.
Speaking
That's
of, do you remember when that, like, I just want to bring it up, like, just to add to the story. Do you remember when they thought that they were cheating with glasses on? Do you remember that
Oh,
like,
yeah,
whole
yeah,
saga on
The
Twitter?
little
Yeah,
clip
yeah,
where it
yeah.
was like
Google
the
Lens.
radar.
Where he, like,
Google
puts the
glasses.
glasses on, you can see the radar and, like, the
Yeah.
tint.
It did for
Yeah.
a second. I did think, I wonder. I do wonder.
We're gonna,
As he was shooting,
we're gonna
as he was
see-
shooting us through.
we're gonna
through
see
two
Papp
smoke.
turn up to Epic Land with some thick fucking shades on. And we're like, hold on a minute.
Go gadget. Go
Oh,
me, boys.
yeah.
Trust me.
Yeah, literally. Like, yeah. I mean, it's not a bad idea.
Obviously, just to bring the topic back on track a bit here. You were talking about the fact that you haven't played Verdant in so long. It comes,
You played him again.
yeah,
maybe,
twice in what, like 2 weeks, not
Yeah.
even that. So
This is quite fun because our first best of 3 in the new map pool. They just chucked us 2 in there today. They're
Oh,
like,
did they?
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
2's in.
oh fuck, really?
I said cheers.
How much notice do you get given on that? Like, was it just like the morning of? It's yeah, fuck it,
Yeah,
like D2's
nah.
in, or
found out this one Monday, but I've got quite a funny story about that. With United 21, Marco was playing. Was it Saturday? I think it was Saturday morning, the day or Friday morning, the day after, like the morning of the update. Marco sends me a picture and he's talking to United 21 guys at like 7, 8 a.m. And Marco's got the game at 9. And they're like, is Dust 2 in the map 4? Is it overpass? He's like, we're still trying to decide. And Marco just replies, well, our game is in 1 hour. It's like, so that's what it's like. You don't really know. But this one was Dust 2. We found out a couple of days ago. So we did play it. We actually practiced it a little bit because I wanted to try and pick it wanted to try and pick it against them for a laugh. But we didn't get to.
I was just going to say, unfortunately, I don't know if their map pools changed very much from what it used to be, but Dust 2 and Mirage has always been...
Yeah. Well, that's the thing, yeah. So we was like, well, we know each other too well. That's the problem when you play these. Like,
yeah.
They know we hate Mirage. Like, we haven't played Mirage in like 3 years. And now Dust 2's come in, and Overpass is one of our better maps. So the map pool change is like a bit of a nerf, to be honest. Overpass, like we picked Overpass quite often, so now they put another hard pug map in, so it doesn't really suit us too well. So yeah, they left us 2 in for us to pick it. To be fair, they banned Inferno. They're not big fans of that either. But yeah, we've only practiced us 2. We haven't actually
got to
played
play
a game on it yet. No, we played our first Mirage in 3 years today. And we was 0-7 down.
Yeah, it was 10-2 down the first half.
10-2 down, yeah. But come back 13-9. But yeah, it's a bit of a rough one. Yeah.
Your next game's... Sorry, I was just going to jump in. Your next game's against Whopper.
Whopper,
yeah.
Whoppers. Playing Breezer. Good old Breezer. He's been around for a while.
Yeah.
He almost, I would say, quote unquote, almost made it. But when he was with Ecstatic, he played the RMR, the Brazil RMR, I think, with them.
And then he played. They was in Malta, I think, the RMR.
Yeah.
And then the major was in Brazil, I think.
Yeah, but they're okay. But I think again, you don't want to jinx it, but this is a team you want to be winning against, I think. But they've just been bought by the AC Milan player, Simon Kjær. However you say it, but yeah,
Really?
AC Milan, Danish centre back. Yeah. He's just bought that Whopper. That was Scepter. I don't know if you know Scepter either.
Oh yeah, like Scepter bit skins.
Scepter is Alpha, and it's like, what is that?
Yeah,
on HLTV they're Alpha, but on the Wikipedia it's Scepter.
So
I don't really know how that works.
Whopper have like bought Scepter, and then so that's them now. But yeah, it's actually quite a nice group, to be honest. We should. It's much better than some of the other ones. I mean, that Group A is a bit harsh, and yeah, you don't want to be in there with Entropic and Zero Tenacity.
Yeah, I think Group B is really hard as well, to be honest.
Group D is.
I mean, that TBA, ECF team, they're really good.
Yeah, Entropic are just in there.
Yeah, like I was just about to mention this. Fucking Entropic. Like for those at home that don't know, they just made some changes. Just check this, prize pool wise. You get $5,000 for first, and fucking Tizian's turning up at 9 a.m. on a Wednesday morning, getting ready to clock in for a game that isn't even on HLTV. I mean, I like.
That's what you got to compete with, mate.
It's crazy hard.
Buzz has just turned up. Now.
Yeah, just Fasher as well. Like the change that they made, I think we'll talk about it in a bit, Josh. Right in the roster changes section.
It's a good lineup on paper, and
it's
to be
sick.
fair, like the old generation in Tropic, like the last one was actually like had decent players, but it was just awful. Like they didn't get any results. So I wonder if they are cursed in like the Tizian IGLing. But on paper, like these guys are gonna win these kind of events, or at least like go deep. Do you know what I mean? They should do.
You'd expect them to, yeah, definitely. They're a weird one in Tropic because they've been floating around like top end, like ECA main and like bottom end advanced, like for the last what feels like year. I thought they would do quite good with Milky, the Polish. We know him quite well. I thought they would do quite well with him, but that didn't seem to last very long. Those signings they made today, though, they look pretty. They're fed up of losing type signings, aren't they? They should be quite good now.
I mean, they must be paying, no? Like, if they got Buzz out of fucking Astralis and got Regali out of OG, and then they got Fasher, like, the salaries aren't going to be cheap on that team.
No, definitely not.
I think, to be fair, I didn't think they were doing that bad. I think, like, the old team, but Milky, Collins, and those guys, I think, weren't they, like, I think there was one game off of the RMR, or maybe, like, maybe 2 games or something. But they made it like really far into the open qualifier. I think they made it into the closed as well. Like in 2023.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
2024 even.
No, this year.
Start,
Yeah.
Oh,
start
right.
2024.
Nah. What's,
Yeah,
oh,
there's the
closed
Fnatic.
qual. Yeah.
Oh yeah, okay, they lost to Sync, yeah. But I remember they made it through the closed and like, or made it through the open and like beat some good teams throughout that.
You're right though. It's mad to think like Entropic, were had some really good teams in the past, and it is pretty crazy to
Yeah,
see what's like sort of happened to them. And yeah, definitely they're still paying a lot of money. Like,
Yeah.
no doubt.
Yeah.
It's probably the highest paid team in that whole tournament, easy.
Yeah.
It'd be interesting
Everyone
to
could
see.
buy it.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're gonna buy everyone. Can we buy the tournament? Like, but yeah, it does make you wonder why they're playing it. But I guess when they got the invite, they didn't have. Well, they probably knew they were getting them right, but they didn't have that lineup. Perhaps. Who knows?
It
Yeah.
might be to like brush the losses off early before you start playing on HLTV. Get at least
Yeah.
some officials
Well, the
off with,
playoffs
like,
for this
the
is
eyes.
HLTV, so they will be on it.
Oh,
Like, they'll win.
all of the playoffs?
Yeah.
Yeah,
think so.
top
Should
8.
be.
So
I think it's
I
all
think
of the playoffs. That is top 8 is
either
like,
all or the top 8. Yeah,
yeah, top
Is
8
it-
is the whole thing.
the whole
So
thing.
this- yeah.
I thought it was the upper bracket semis onwards, but
Nah,
but maybe
the
it's
last
the whole
like
thing.
3 Division 2 European Pro League have been HLTV, I think. Pretty sure.
Yeah, so they win the first 2 games and they're straight on HLTV anyway. I guess that's fair.
It is a bit confusing because I referenced this quite a lot in a broadcast, and on Wikipedia it's like European Pro League Season 17 Div 2, but when you go on HLTV, it's like second season or second division of Season 10, and it's like how is this like
Yeah.
7 seasons
And
out
do you know-
of what?
Do you know? I was just checking this as well because I did remember seeing like EPL season whatever.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
Division 1 only goes to 15 and like for some miracle just stops. We've got Div 2 still going on. There's a
We're on
World
17.
Series where they're doing like the America stuff. They've obviously did
they're
the
getting
female
in.
event as well. Yeah, they've just been fucking about everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
I don't know.
The Div 1's actually really good. Like,
There's some good
to be
teams
fair.
are playing there.
Yeah,
Div
some really
1's
good
good.
teams.
We did play Div 1 last season. Last season or the season before? 14 it might have been. Yeah, 14.
So it's
And
like
why
a
is season
promotion
1
thing,
there?
is it?
That's
yeah,
definitely
so
what? Oh, that's the
Oh,
female
I think that's
one.
the female season.
That's
Oh,
the female
okay,
one.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm-
that was
spun
confusing to me.
I was-
yeah, the winner goes up into the
So you have to place first,
yeah, to go on
Yeah,
to the
to
next
go
and
up
then
to
the rest get invited. Oh, Brev, that's so
Yeah.
chilled.
yeah.
So you
And
might as well
look
just...
at it. Yeah, you just gotta hope someone drops. Literally with this one, I think a team drops out, and they just needed someone, and we just happens to be in the right place, right time.
Yeah.
That's,
So you don't
that's
even
what it
really
is.
need the promotion. You just need like a decent HLTV ranking to get invited.
Yeah. Then like if you look at the types that are getting invited, yeah, they're all like top 70, I think, mostly.
I mean,
It's a good
to be
team.
fair, like, you know, I don't want to shit on prize pools or anything, Josh, but considering you're only offering 11k up top and 20k in total, you've obviously got like the Alliance boys in there, Alternate Attacks new look with obviously like hyped in there. Yeah, you've got like the new Enterprise that are looking pretty good. Espionage and Tropic, the Godsent boys are still about. Like Permitter as well are in there. This is like an old Preezy team as well. Like this decent tournament,
Yeah,
like
they're
very
good.
stacked tournament.
Yeah.
Considering it's
Yeah.
only 20k as well. Like it's mega.
They're just not playing it for the money, though, are they?
Oh,
They're just
no.
playing it for like the Team Secret. Like I know they're just playing it for HLTV, of course. Like that prize money wouldn't pay, like you say, it's like wouldn't pay for the team for a month. You know,
Yeah.
no chance. Especially a lot of them, they pay the 5 players, the coach's assistant, the analysts. You know, it's crazy. The team's wage bill must be mad when you think of it. And then they're playing for like $5 grand. It's crazy.
Fair enough. I think that's about it, Josh, for the events.
Yeah, I don't really have much else. I know that Viperio guys were playing on HLTV a little bit in the CCT close qual. Do you know what I found really weird, Ryan, as well? Is I was trying to figure out the other day. It was like I think the season 1 close qual was like all on HLTV, and then the second one it was like only the play-in ones.
Yeah, I think it's to do with the fact they overran so close, the 1 and 2.
Oh, do you reckon?
And also like the level of teams in the second play-in weren't ranking like
okay.
something like that.
Yeah,
Because only the decider got it. Yeah.
I was gonna say that's definitely a HLTV decision, not a CCT
Oh no,
one.
100%. But it was just like I was a bit weird. And then another thing is I was following. I can't even remember if it was a team I casted today or yesterday. And it's like they're playing in CCT Europe 1 and 2, and it's like 1 has not finished, but 2.
Yeah, it's weird. That's what. It's strange. That's what I was wondering. I was wondering a bit of that myself because we were in 1. and we were in the decider game against Illumina, and we'd like beat Illumina the last 3 times that we'd played them. So I was sort of, I wasn't like counting your chickens, but I was expecting us to sort of do well and maybe win. I was thinking, well, we got an invite for the second one already, so if we qualify for the first one, how does that work? But like, yeah, they just
It's
must
just
move
too
it
different.
around. And we've got an invite for the next one next week, like the number 3 already. So
That's
hopefully that
crazy.
was HLTV. Let's pray for that. But
Fair enough.
yeah, CCT's back, so it's like more games, you know. It's like,
Mm.
and I think there's supposed to be like 20 play-ins this year.
Yeah, but the problem is like last time it was like south, north, like west or
Just all,
something,
all
and then now it's just like
combined
1, 2, 3, 4, whatever. So it's like I guess they just combine them or something.
Yeah, I would say, Ryan, on theory, it's easier to follow because you just check the numbers. But when 1, 2, and 3 are
Yeah.
all playing at the same time, it's not easier to follow at all.
It's really stupid. Like I hate this like numbering idea. Like look at Pro League. It's like you've got what 2 a year, 3 a year. It used to be,
Yeah.
and it's like one finishes, we have a bit of a break, and another one starts. And as you say, it's like if you've got an invite to number 3 that starts next week, and like number 1's just about wrapping up or whatever. Like what the fuck's happened in the middle of season 2? I don't know. I feel like, especially from like a broadcasting narrative as well, like I feel for the talent that obviously worked that event, because it's like 1 minute you're casting like the play-ins of season 3, and then you're meant to drum up this like new narrative. It's like the day after,
Yeah.
like you've gone from Monday to Tuesday, and then all of a sudden you're doing like this playoff game or
Yeah,
like a
yeah.
main Swiss game. It's like different teams, different setting, and obviously it means it's just like, you know, the same fucking banana cup 8 times in a row or whatever, and then look for an online
Yeah.
final or whatever, right? But I don't know. It's a bit confusing to me that the
Yeah, I think
numbering.
the best way I like describe it is like if you ever go in the bookies and the horse racing's on, it's just like there's screens everywhere of a
Yeah.
game. It's just like that, isn't it? There's so much going on. Yeah, you feel a bit sorry for the people that yeah, like you say, they've got to do this like narrative that is some crazy game. It might even be the same 2 teams that played each other last week in the second one. But
And I don't really know, Ryan, how it works from like a team's perspective with scheduling, but we see it a lot with like teams having to forfeit games because like of overlapping schedules. And I casted, I think it was either yesterday or the day before, and one win we're playing in CCT. Now I know the games before kind of got like a bit delayed, but one win played like map 1, and then they had to play for rest like now. And I was like, well, what
Yeah.
are they going to do? Like, are they going to play map 2 there and then forfeit map 1 with us? Like, what's happening? And they were like, no, we're just gonna. And it was a 2-2 game in CCT, and they basically just forfeited. They lost map 1, forfeited map 2, forfeited map 3, and came and played in rest. And I was just like, how in this day and age in 2024 are we like still having teams that are like forfeiting important games? Because the game that I was casting was an elimination, and then the other game was a 2-2 Swiss, and it's like, well, whichever one they forfeit, they're gonna get eliminated out of the tournament.
yeah.
Just to
It's just-
yeah.
It's really difficult. We like even us like we have that problem, you know, like because the thing is you don't always know how well you're gonna do as well. So if you do like if you have a half decent run, you all of a sudden you're playing tomorrow, or you're playing the next day, and you don't plan that, and then you might be in something else. A lot of them in our like situation at least are sort of connected. Like it's the same like group, like the United 21 and the EPL. They both know each other and they sort of feed into each other. I think if you win United 21, you get an invite to Div 2 of EPL. So they like help each other out a little bit, but most of the time they're just like black and white. No, this is the time you're playing. Like CCT, the last 2 weekends we had the playing games, like the final decider. You make it out the group and you played like someone from the other group. Was on a Saturday, and there's 4 time slots, like 10 a.m., 1 p.m., 4 p.m., and like 7 p.m. And we didn't find out what slot we were in until like 11 o'clock the Friday night. So
Yeah,
it could
that's
be that,
crazy.
yeah, like we could be playing, 10 a.m., 9 a.m. tomorrow morning. And everyone's asking me, oh, have you found out what time we're playing yet? There might be someone that can't play at 4 o'clock, but they could do it is wild. I think you think they would be a bit more lenient with the teams, but no, they are like pretty cutthroat.
Anyway, should we chat about some of the roster changes, Ryan?
Yeah, I've written here that there's some drama to go with it. I think we'll save that juicy bit till last.
Sure.
Just because there is a few roster changes I think we can sort of discuss and have a little chat through first. I guess to get it out of the way, we can do the UK stuff first, right? I think that's fair. Obviously we had Reese joining TLR. That was a bit of a conundrum, right? Because I remember Adam JC benched Flicky, or like at least the narrative. I don't know if it was
right,
just Adam or it was like TLR bench Flicky, TLR
Mm.
then remove, or like I think Fetis got removed as well or something, and then like, oh, Adam JC has been benched, like basically like dethroned off of this project,
Yeah.
and then they brought Flicky back, they brought Reese in as well, so a bit of a weird time for them over at TLR, but obviously they're what, UK core, but European like flair to it
Who
now,
have
right? They've got Vainzo
Vainzo,
and
Dutch.
they've got Fizzy,
Vainzo.
Big, and Flicky,
It's
right?
like four
And
UK.
Reese.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's just Vainzo. Yeah.
Fair
Yeah,
enough.
I think they wanted to make the change with Adam, not with Adam, with Flicky, and then they didn't have a good run in main playoffs. I think they've been playing like main for the last obviously like year and a half. I guess they got a bit washed with not making advance. Then Adam decided to go, and then they thought, well, we may as well bring Flicky back then. And then I think Adam's still LFT, so I don't. Yeah, the problem is there's not many UK teams you can go to. Like it's up from there. But Flicky's actually really good, to be fair to him. I think he's a bit of an unknown one. And Reese could do good. Reese has done well in the past with some UK teams. Obviously played with Fraser for a little bit and stuff like that. But I think this is probably his first team in like a year at least. Well, you laugh when I say Fraser.
Yeah. Oh no. Yeah.
Yeah, he wasn't in that team.
I mean, we'll probably see them at Epic, I would assume. Like, I would say these guys
Yeah,
should be there.
I
Maybe
think
not
so.
the full five, like with the Dutchman, but they should
He's
be
been
there.
for the last
I think
couple
so,
because
yeah,
he was there
he
with
was at the last one, I think.
Yeah, he was there with he was there with them recently, and he was there because he was the one that they were the old K10, weren't they? And he was there with them. So I think so. I'd
Okay.
assume so. That's an event they should look to try and win. So I
Mm.
guess so. Them and Raptors, I guess they're like the two probably for the July one. That would be there.
Josh, we've got Verdant benching Zaxi and bringing in Divi. We were talking about that a little bit earlier.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't
Yeah.
know. It's nice to see maybe just a change of the core and like not from just the core of the players, but to actually have a bit
Yeah.
of a role change. I think in the past, Tom Artist had said
Yeah.
that like he'd be open to having an AWP. I mean, when they had Mazza on the team, right? Like we're talking
Yeah.
a seriously long time ago now.
Yeah,
DMX
yeah.
But
days.
those UMX days
Mm.
with Mazza, it was Artist on the rifle, but they haven't had an actual
No.
AWPer since then, and that's got to be what, 4 years ago maybe.
Yeah, long time.
Yeah,
Long
I think
time.
they tried with like Rudd as well, but that was
Yeah,
like
they had
a
Rudd.
year
Oh,
and a
with
half
the-
He's
ago.
in the academy now.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
But
right.
he was.
and then
that was
he
a
was
couple years
rifling
ago.
there as well. But I think that Divi guy is like really good. I think that's a really good sign. I mean, they're
You-
going to be really good now.
Yeah, you casted him, Ryan? I think
No.
I've seen Ivan casted him.
No, I literally the only thing that maybe I can think of is like a Gem 1 way back in the day, and like what 2021 it was, end of 2021. So
Mm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
he's definitely a game changer for them. It'll be interesting with Tom on the rifle. Tom has he's like flirted with it a few times, whether he's gonna go play rifle or not. I think maybe like CS2, like put him over the edge. Maybe like the game has got a bit faster and stuff. Maybe he's like, I just want to play rifle. I don't know, but it's a bit of I guess if I was the IGL, my only perspective would be how long is it before. If Divi doesn't have a couple of good games, it's gonna be, I could do this better. Do you know what I mean? But I guess we'll see. I think they have a really good roster right now, though, and they pretty much got all the best, some really good UK talent. That you can get. Like Vacancy is really good. Like Ducky is like unreal. Like his aims is crazy sometimes. So
Giraffe as well.
Giraffe obviously, yeah.
Yeah.
Giraffe had that. He was part of the RMR run, wasn't he? He's really good. They've got a really strong team. They should do really well.
Yeah, yet to play a game in UK, I see.
Yeah, they're gonna play like all 10 in one night or something, or 8, or whatever you got to play now. Just gonna have them all queued up.
UKSC night.
Yeah, we'll just play them all tonight.
grab the snacks, boys. We got a big day ahead of us. Yeah.
Yeah, probably. I mean, they should be looking to win that. I think. I'm sure they want to win that pretty badly because the one we were all at in December, they sort of choked, didn't they? Against
Yeah.
K10, and then they lost in the semi-final. The last one to Bevy, I think.
Yeah, they
So
lost to the neighbours, which cost them the
Yeah.
LAN final. Correct.
Yeah, so I'm sure they want to win UKC, and them and EXO would be like a cool final. I think that would be a fun game.
Nice
Especially with
narrative there
Marco.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah. Hopefully they can like line up so it's not the quarterfinal or something, semi-final.
One more, I guess, a step up, but still a UK change that we've had here, Josh, is obviously Endpoint, our UK org, has now stepped still back in to the UK scene, obviously keeping Mighty Max, Surreal, and Azu, but they've now picked up Sejot, who comes from Sprout, right, if I'm not mistaken.
That's right.
And then they also picked up Crucial again. Obviously, the Endpoint narrative, he used to play for them for absolute yonks, and obviously had that stint at ITB, but back home now, wearing blue. And to be honest with you, like, I feel like Crucial, to me, I've always speculated a bit as to his consistency, but the quality that he's had, I think in the ITB run, I think we really saw what he could do. I think it's a bit of a shame that they couldn't really come back to sort of flying colours of ITB after the matter. But now back at Endpoint, I think it's going to be a really exciting time for him because some valuable experience probably picked up through the major. And on top of that as well, I think for him as an individual, probably his confidence back, knowing that he could go toe-to-toe with just a UK team, what was effectively at a time a very new squad, back into Endpoint, and you know, with the idea of playing with Azu and obviously joining teammates with Surreal and Crucial, with Surreal and Max, sorry. I feel like this is like it's not ITB exactly, but for Crucial himself, it probably feels quite similar in the sense that you're now blending good friends and experience with some of these younger, rawer talents. And obviously we know Sejot as an unbelievable fragger for the Sprout days. So I'm excited to see what Crucial can do and what Endpoint have in stock for us over the next coming months.
Yeah, I think they should be.
Okay.
Yeah, I was gonna say I think they're gonna do really well. I think Crucial can. He definitely can bring a lot, you know, from the experience that he had. But I think he showed us. I think he proved like a lot of people wrong individually.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people thought he wasn't that good or whatever, but he was really consistent for them. Probably one of their most consistent players. And yeah, he even performed well at the major itself. So I think that's a good pickup for them. It probably made a lot of sense, didn't it? They knew each other. They could probably get it done quite quick. And I think Endpoint probably has like struggled the last ever since, I guess, since they've gone to the UK core. But replacing like Nerds and Heavy God and all that, I guess that's just an impossible task, isn't it?
Yeah, I think they've had a lot of roster issues since then, right? Because obviously they lost Slend to, well, now Gamer Legion, and then they had like MHL beforehand, and Switcher, who obviously had a very short stint with Endpoint, and we were talking to those Endpoint boys beforehand. So I guess since the start of this year, it has been quite rough for them to try and build back up. But like in the tail end of 2024, they were ranked 31st. That was their highest peak when Heavy God was on the team. They actually peaked in 31st. So I don't know. I think since the rebuild, I'm excited to see what Endpoint have in store for us. I think this is, you know, again,
it's cool for Sejot.
Yeah, I was going to say,
very young player.
He's 17. I think people
yeah,
forget he's 17 years old.
young.
Like super young player.
Yeah,
I
that'd
would
be
just
cool.
say like classic Endpoint, isn't it? Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like picking up someone like Sejot is he's the perfect player to go into that team. Like I cast him a bit on Sprout, and I don't know, I didn't rate him that highly, but at the same time, I feel like that whole team just had so many stand-ins and fucking players coming in and out. So it's difficult to judge where they sit. But I would say to Pete, like it's good business again. You pick up someone from Sprout, well, that was probably free. Like that just came over, no worries. And then you pick up someone that is in an organization like Crucial where ITB don't even have a team. That's going to be a pretty easy buyout. So
exactly,
it makes sense from a business perspective where you're not digging into the pockets. And I rate the move. I think for Sejot, he's going to learn a lot. Like he played under rules and now he's playing under Max. You're playing under sort of two IGLs that have been kicking around for a while at the higher end of tier 2. So yeah, keen to just see what they're going to be like.
Yeah, they definitely have the players. I mean, Azu as well. Azu's unreal. He could be good, and Surreal was doing really good.
Yeah,
They have they definitely have the players to do good. It's just such a hard. I think they're competing with. They're also like in that field where they're competing with like Secret and stuff like that, and it's just like they all spend so much money on players now, and they're not even top like 50, top 60. So it's so hard. It's just so hard. Yeah, I think they'll do good though. I think Crucial will be a good one for them. It definitely like a totally different player to Slend, isn't he? Like going to bring like a lot more to the team, I'd imagine, like out of the game as well. So that'd be cool for them.
A couple of European changes, Josh. We talked about the GK boys. I think for the ex-Preezy storyline, like Roy Refresh, Vorborg, all left. And now we've got the Granny's Knockers squad that is, from what I've read at least, the like UK CSGO did an article and it was quite insightful. It's like none of these players are like contractually bound to GK.
Yeah,
None of these players are like salaried or anything like that. This is just like a bunch of free agents playing under this banner. They're going to do some like charity work with GK and whatever, which is fucking cool, by the way. Like the fact that they've got the initiative, fair play to GK. I can only be happy for Ryan and the lot over there for that. But yeah, that's going to be a pretty fun time for them, I guess. And I think the one thing that we talk about a lot, Josh, is the fact that when teams are orgless and stuff, they don't really do enough to put themselves on the map. And I know the names alone on this team probably just do a lot of the talking when it comes to as to why you should pick this team up. But you know, any publicity in that sense, when it comes from a charity perspective, is just going to help and aid
it's cool.
the roster in that sense. OG have made more changes because fucking, you know, we roll the dice every month here at OG. Lambert's now the head coach, right? They bought Killerzoo out from 3D Max, who was obviously the lead coach there. 3D Max have now got oh my god, what is his name? I literally just talked to him Wasink, like
Wasink,
2 days ago.
Yeah.
So they got Wasink in now. A bit of a confusion there. And then iNation returning, Josh.
Yeah, I mean the Lambert one, like I don't know the fella, but like he went into TSM as the assistant coach and then just gets like promoted to the main coach, and then he's like, do you know what? I'll just come over and do a bit of assistant coaching on OG, and it's like within 2 months he's just the head coach of the roster. So
Hey,
don't know how
fast
he's done that
tracking.
one.
Yeah, it's quite nice of him.
Yeah, and then for Killerzoo, I mean, he played with Exercise, and I think he used to do a bit of casting in the French scene.
Yeah.
I mean, even that one is like wild that he coached 3D Max for a little bit. I mean, obviously the French connection, it makes a lot of sense why he's gone over to OG, and then Wasnik and Gravity get picked up by 3D Max. I know they'd been there a little while, but like they officially only got signed the other day. The new iNation team is actually quite intriguing because I think they were at the RMR at, I think, Paris. They were there because we were like, they're going 0-3. I'm pretty sure, Ryan, they were at Paris, no?
Yes, they were. They were at the
like depression and that.
They played in closed qualifier B, where they went in. Hold on. Where are they? Oh yeah, they went 6th. They then qualified for RMRB, played in RMRB, and then went 0-3 there.
Yeah, but I mean, it's just because it's an iconic name. Like, I think any person that follows Tier 2, follows Serbian scene, European, you'll know of iNation. They've always been in like a household name in the local scene. So it's nice that the brand has like come back. And to be honest, the lineup on paper, like Collins is actually a really good player. He did well on that like 4 Glory, and I think he was on 0-0 Nation for a little bit as well. Like, you've got Emmy. I don't know how Emmy's still kicking around, to be honest. Like, he went out into Tyloo to do coaching, and he's like, do you know what? I can play again. So, you know,
he's got one more in him. Yeah.
They've got like the North Macedonians, Aid Kit, and Zikos out there as well. And then Dragon, who I think was previously on iNation. So just nice to see the brand name coming back. You know,
that's cool.
Full local team. We'll see what they're like.
We've practiced them a couple of times already.
Yeah, we played them twice, I think, in practice. And those guys, I think they're really good. And I think like Dragon is an 8 kid as well. And he was like, I can't believe like they didn't make a team. I think they've all been looking for the team for like 4 months or something.
Right.
So like I don't really know how that team didn't happen sooner, but like I think him and those 3 guys have played in teams together before.
Yeah.
So like those guys are like really good though. I'll be surprised if they don't make it to like top 50, top 60.
Well, they've done it in the past. Like they did it with the old lineup, so you expect that. I mean, they had Vladen, and obviously we know what he's been able to do.
They have Choiv as well, I think, right? Or
yeah, that was the team that had like the crazy win streak on Inferno.
Yeah,
30 and something crazy in a row just on Inferno only. They were really good, to be fair. They will be good. It does make, like you say, they're surprised it took them so long to make it back. I guess one of them found the logos. One of them found the logos in a folder somewhere. Roll it back to sign.
Yeah, well, that's all the roster changes. We can get into a little bit of the drama, Ryan.
Oh yeah, I was gonna say we've got some cool stuff happening. First and foremost, people thought that Na'Vi Wonderful got hit with a ban. It's not. It's
Oh,
not the good Wonderful. It's the slightly
yes.
worse for wear Wonderful with a Y at the end.
Oh.
He got banned for cheating for 2 years, and I'm gonna see if I can quickly dig up the tweet that
He
he
played him on HLTV
put out.
like a week before the ban, by the way.
Oh, classic.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said he was cheating at the time.
Yeah, he did. To be fair,
I said about
he
3
did,
weeks
so,
ago. He's like their star player, and he played like all star positives on every map. And then we just get to Inferno, and he plays apps. I'm like, what's going on? Like the one part of the map he can just find timings 24/7. I'm like, yeah, of course he is in apps.
Yeah, there's got to be like some dodgy territory with some of these Ukrainians that have all been together,
Yeah.
like because they all like mix, don't they? The Wonderful and like the
Yeah.
old I'm trying to think what the org name is, like the ones in the RMRs, Ryan.
Like
the crazy line. I can't think what the Project X, like Akuma guys. That's
Yes,
what
there you
I'm
go.
trying to. Is it's like they've all played with one
Yeah.
another and they're all in like their own little circle.
Pull up the Wonderful's HLTV. Look at his rating on CS:GO, and look at his rating on
Well,
CS2. It's
I'll
just like
put
a
it this
different
way.
player born. It's like
There we go.
crazy.
We had a player on the show where I don't think we were mentioning it on when we were live, Ryan, but when he was playing under the E-Hawks in ESEA Advanced, and I won't say who the
This
guest
is the
that we
good
had on was
Wonderful.
talking about it.
Oh,
But
of course it is.
they were like, yeah, no, he's like that team is just cheating. So
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
crazy, but nothing happens, does it? Like, I guess
There
you
you
can't
go.
prove it really, but
So him in Go 0.89.
Yeah.
Him in
Oh, hang
2.
on, hang on. Oh,
Oh,
look at
Fucking
that.
Stonk, sell him off, sell him off. He's a good player. He's the next big thing.
yeah, someone got buffed. It's pretty wild. It's not based off like one game either, so it's quite funny. Yeah, that was funny. And well, yeah, his tweet was like,
Yeah,
oh, I
it
used
was-
to cheat for one game.
It was. I'll just take some snippets that I found
there's no
hilarious
way.
from this. Right. It was like, I will tell the truth. What happened? I was praying every second that I won't be banned after 2 bans of ETF. AC players, and I thought I will be dry after this story since I used that bug. And he's obviously referring to the
yeah,
like the bug
SV
SV cheats bug on Face
Yeah.
It. And he said that he did it for 2 rounds and then closed it because he didn't think that it was possible to detect from Face It side. And then, you know, after defending himself really
You know
really
what?
literally
I
and,
think this is
and-
wrong.
and-
I'm gonna
and-
stop.
yeah, and being like, yeah, I did it for 2 rounds. I stopped. You know, I didn't think Face It would pick up on it or anything. I wanted to leave anyways to IRO after Face It season. Seems a good time to go. Yeah, fuck you, man. Like,
yeah,
that's
yeah,
he-
literally.
he set up this like apology, which by the way was shite, but you know, at least he tried to like defend his corner or what was left of
Yeah.
it. And then he was like, I wanted a break anyway, so this is just perfect time. I'm just gonna fuck off now and do
I'll be
my
back
own
in about
thing.
2 years.
Yeah.
That's alright.
Not that I'm counting down the days, but it's like 626 left. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
it's
don't
just-
know.
The best bit
Crazy.
is the admin replied to it, didn't they? The Face It guys
Yes,
Yeah,
replied
Face
to
It
that's
Darwin,
right.
who,
Yeah.
by the way,
Yeah.
I will never have enough love for that man because the amount of shit he
Yeah.
deals with on a daily basis is insane.
Yeah.
And just to quote what Darwin said, that obviously what you're referencing, Pap, he said, and I quote, all players detected for using the SV Cheats exploit were banned shortly after the exploit occurred. There have been no bans issued since. So it's the most PR way
Yeah.
of saying, you liar, you liar.
Yeah, it's a good
Um,
one.
Which, fair enough. I mean, yeah, that's what you get for cheating.
Makes you wonder what they were using though, because like yeah, there's
How
like
do we get that?
yeah, how do we get it? Like, no one sent me any DMs. It is weird. I mean, God knows. Like you say, there's a lot of those players that group. You could, well, you mentioned a few already, where there's always the accusations and stuff.
Yeah.
And to be fair, like they never deprove them, do they? They never.
No.
They're always the shadiness. Then they get to a LAN and they're just shits, and then they're never seen again.
Yeah, which is probably a shame for like any up and coming Ukrainian players that like want to be legit, and it's like you're in those circles, so a lot of people are
Yeah.
just gonna look at you with that
Yeah.
asterisk on your name.
Yeah,
So-
I think that Face It, because I was saying to the guys, like, why would you even do it, like, in Face It and stuff? It doesn't really make that much sense to me. But then, of course, they changed it, didn't they, recently, with the like, top top 10 elo get like, I think the winner, did they get 20 grand?
Yeah.
I think it's 20k. I think it's
So
20k.
you get a lot of money. Like
he was
in
number one as well, right?
Yeah, he was number
think
one on
so.
Face It, so he's
Yeah.
going to get like 10, 20 grand or whatever it is, and obviously that's quite a lot. And then they get a chance to go into FPL, so just playing pugs, they can sort of change their life. Some of these guys, I guess. So why not risk it?
I don't know if you saw as well, Ryan, but Sticko put out the YouTube video.
Yeah,
of,
one day
yeah,
before.
it's funny.
Yeah, so funny.
The demo review of the best Face It player.
I was making a joke about it, like before it happened, because it's like,
Yeah,
oh, he's done this. Because we was like laughing about it. I was like, I wonder if he's like left the comms in where they're like arguing with the random, and then he's shooting him in the head because he didn't drop him a gun. But this is the top level of Face It. But no.
One other bit of drama that comes in the form of legal action, Josh, is ReTr00 and Legacy, and just we'll do a lot of the explaining, but just the picture alone kind of explains the whole story, doesn't it, Josh?
Not
Really?
having a good time there, is he?
No. So from what I've gathered here is Legacy believe that they've got him under contract until the end of 2024 or the start of 2025. He's playing on. He is playing on Red Canids right now, but Legacy now
is an unreal team, by the way, Ryan. Like that Hards out and
Yeah.
like David Duez, like they are sick.
they are good. It's a very strong team.
Yeah.
But basically, Legacy have seen that he's come back swinging, and they've gone, oh, hold on a minute. We actually have a contract with you that expires at the end of this year, and we are not allowing you to play the video game for them. And then obviously ReTr00 has his legal team or person. I don't know. When you've got that much money, I don't know if it's like an army of people behind you or whatever. But basically, they're saying, oh, you can't play. And ReTr00's like, well, hold on a minute. This is what my lawyer's saying, and they're saying, no, actually, I can play. No, I'm not breaching my contract here. And so there's like this whole like kerfuffle between buyouts and clauses in contracts and like legacy hell, basically. It's just a bit messy, really, isn't it? And for a guy like ReTr00 who respectfully has, you look at like Luminosity and the days of the Brazilian rise compared to now, like you just feel like this is just another like red mark next to his name in his career, right? And it's like, after falling off and sort of struggling in Tier 2, finally finding a way back in with Red Canids and looking like a promising team, 52nd or 51st in the world right now, like making some decent ground, and then he's just going to be hit with this like massive case of
it's weird, isn't it?
Like Legacy don't want him playing anymore.
Yeah. They've come back and said it's not true, right? But like, what makes you wonder, why did Legacy not say anything for like the last 2-3 weeks when?
Well, I think the whole premise probably is that we know that the buyouts are just ridiculous out there in Brazil. Like it's been public knowledge for a very long time. So I'm sure there's a lot of like sliding your way through of like working the cracks to not have these because they're just stupid. They are just so large. So yeah, we'll see what the court case is, Ryan. We'll follow that over the next few episodes.
I wonder if he's going to play. Yeah.
This is going to go from Tier 2 talk to the Jeremy Kyle show. I think it'd be a good laugh if we could.
ReTr00.
Out next is ReTr00. It's like I signed a contract. I'm not playing. Like I don't know. It'd be fun.
Yeah, true.
I think we've got one more bit to do, Josh, for this episode, and it's probably the most fun that we have. Probably the best bit we've added, and that is, of course, our dream teams. Now, gents, if you didn't have a read of the Discord beforehand, then get ready because you're going against one another. Effectively, for those at home that for the first time or just explaining it to Papp and Zodi as well, we give you the ground of making the dream team of Tier 2, right? And so you will go against one another. We'll start with Papp. Can pick a player, then we'll pass to Zodi. Zodi can pick a player, and so you can pick 5 players for your teams. You can only pick yourself and one more teammate if you want to pick yourself and a teammate, that is. If not, and you want to go like fucking
put myself in
insane team, if you want, if it's an ancient only team, Papp, then we're living. Yeah. But basically, you're just going against one another. You're going to pick players, one apiece each. You're going to build a team. Me and Josh will have a little discussion at the end. Maybe it is quite neutral, or we think one team's better than the other. So we can just jump straight into it, really, and have a little discussion about our tier 2 super team. Papp, you can go first. Usually the ruling is for this is, you know, if you're going to pick a player inside the top 30, we like to have like a bit of a discussion about it beforehand, like if me and Josh will allow it or not. So you can't go picking tier 1 players. Like you can't have your Simples and your Zywus and your Monacies and your Nikos of the world. This is tier 2 specific teams and players. So Papp, start us off, matey. Where are you beginning your tier 2 dream team adventure?
Okay, I think tier 2 on current form and just in general, you have to put Cabby in there. And that this I know because Raz would definitely put him in there, so I'll take it. So Cabby's just I think Cabby's a beast.
Fair enough.
We watched a lot of them at one point. And I was just surprised he didn't get onto a better team, but I guess he's getting on a bit now. But I think he's good.
Their form recently, I don't know what is going
Yeah,
on,
I know.
but I've always looked at that core like from Tricked, and like they're no deaf team. Like they're like middle of the pack, like might make an odd playoff run here or there, but they're never like a team that can win events. They're on like 10 games in a row.
Yeah.
They qualified to the World Esports Championship as
Ever
well.
since
They're
they've joined
facing off
Sachi.
against Fnatic. It's just crazy.
10-match win streak and
Eternal Fire. That was the most impressive one.
Cloud9 twice and Eternal Fire in a best of 3 is madness.
They're in the final as well of that Compass.
Compass,
thing,
yeah. Play Fnatic tomorrow. That'll be fun. Zodi, you wanna start us off? Who are you putting in your team?
I'm gonna pick Nilo because he is the GOAT. I mean, I think he's got like he's the most picked player in the top 20 future prospects or whatever. I mean, the guy's just unreal, so yeah, I'm gonna pick him.
Yeah. That team looks a bit rough recently. I gotta be honest. I don't know why.
Yeah,
I think they were playing with standings.
Yeah, I think he didn't play the Brazilian tournament, whatever that was.
He couldn't play score, I think.
Yeah, Popsky,
Yeah,
he's good. I don't know which games he actually missed, but he did miss a fair few because of school. So even teams like that face that problem. That surprised me. Cabby's good.
Back to you.
Yeah.
Who you added on the team of Cabby?
I need to pull up HLTV as well.
I gotta take Poddy. I think Poddy's like.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, a bit of a random one.
I was actually quite keen for just a moment of time to be like, oh, he's left the local scene, Ryan. Like he's gonna get a taste of what it's like to play on international teams. And it's gonna last like 9 days.
Back. He's straight back. See you later, mate. I think he's like, I don't know. We played against him recently.
Twice
in CCT. He's like amazing, apparently. Yeah, really good. I was surprised he was only 19 because he's a bit of a unit as well, isn't he? So. Yeah, he's going to be a good player. Finally, someone can take Alu's spot in the AWP.
He's on Yano now. Yeah.
Yeah.
Zodi.
Okay, for my AWP, I'm gonna pick. Hang on.
No, he's just gonna pick a whole Danish team now.
No, I'm not gonna make a whole Danish team. I'm gonna pick Lucky though. Danish Lucky. That's the offer. I mean, I think those Sashi guys are gonna do really good there. I think they have like the most matches played last 3 months. They've been grinding for like 2 years. I think they're gonna be next thing. Next big thing. No, I think those guys are really good though.
Fair. Papp, who's the third piece in your team?
We need like
next one.
Just another thing as well, Papp. Like in the past, we don't like any scandaled players. We don't care. Like we throw them in here.
Yeah.
All the scandals, like go out of the window.
Yeah.
So Wonderful's back here. Wonderfully.
No, maybe
he's quite good.
Yeah, no, we don't do the cheaters, but the other ones we'll allow.
Yeah, like your Joels of the world, you know.
yeah, that's true. I wouldn't put him in. I don't think.
I was gonna say there could be some
salary
going
count
about.
nowadays. Can we put Cold in there now?
What, Cold Zero?
You gotta think roles, Dan. You can't just pick anyone. You can't just pick
Dumal. Do you know Dumal from
He's tier 1.
Dumal no, he's not tier 1. They're like 60th in the world. Can I count him?
I'll allow it.
I think. Okay.
Dumal's like unreal.
Yeah, he's good.
I'm having a little mixture. Raz is gonna go full Scandinavian.
No, I'm gonna go Danish core, I think. And I'm gonna go
Sachi.
I don't know, Sachi team with Nilo. Sachi and Nilo. Nah, wait, I'm gonna pick Krisen as IGL.
Oh, that's my
Mouse
one.
NXT.
Yeah, Mouse
Yeah,
NXT
he's
guy.
really good.
Run.
He's
Oh,
like
yeah, he is.
17 or something. I think he's 17 or 18.
Do you know what?
And he's
'cause
like
yeah.
at loads. He,
17 years
he
old.
played for Heroic as well, like stood in for Heroic and stuff.
Hmm.
Pretty good.
Yeah, I've casted Mouse NXT a little bit over the last few days, and what's actually insane is that like the real key rounds, like to close games or like the really important gun rounds, he's actually the one that delivers like really good kills when I don't know, you've got a lot of hard hitters on that team. It's actually quite surprising.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah,
fair
he
enough.
does.
3 apiece. Back to you, Papp.
Oh, I don't know. It's quite hard. It's quite hard.
Who's IGLing?
Yeah. That's the problem.
Funny.
I was gonna put Grizzard. Right. Yeah, the
Oh,
mouse
well.
actually now. Yeah, I don't know. It's quite a hard one. I would probably go like. I don't want to put another Brazilian in there. I like a lot of the Brazilian players, so I could just put.
Valde seems to be doing quite well on TSM.
Valde?
Though.
Does Kai count? Is that a bit? Put Cypher
No, I
in
think
there.
Cypher's
No,
alright.
Cypher's clear. Yeah, you can have him.
Yeah, I'll put Kai in there.
Yeah.
I could put Kai on IGL, mate. Trust me, smartest guy I know. Yeah. See, look, we've got a proper
But
mix
so
here.
you got what's the roles here then, Dan? Don't Demaro and Cypher play same?
Yeah, I reckon Cabby's been around now. Cabby can IGL. He's
And
25.
Gabby.
Cabby could IGL, star player. Kai, we can have his entry. Jamal, you know,
Perhaps
decent.
Perhaps just the
second
man
angle.
behind the budget at TSM, wasn't he, when Cypher joined this?
Just give me the money.
Entries galore.
Yeah, literally. Poddy, obviously. I mean, Cabby's been around the block, mate. He can definitely. He's got a few calls in him for sure.
He's got a few goals.
Right. No, you know that copy
Wow.
pasta where it's like Arlu is known for calling, or Alexi B is known for calling Rush
Yeah.
A and known for
Yeah.
calling faking B and rushing A.
Yeah. Dude, that's pretty much it. Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna pick what have I got now? Okay, I'm gonna pick last Danish player. Hang on. I'm gonna pick Queenix as anchor and lurk or whatever you wanna call it.
See, this just shouldn't count. He's just picking Danish only. It's boring. They should have
Well,
one
they're different
nationality rule.
roles.
Yeah, but he's only picking the players he knows. You see.
So
It's
you missed
unfair.
out on doing the UK Super Team here, Pat.
Yeah,
I should have done that.
I
Yeah,
know.
I definitely should have done that. We got Kai. God bless.
Demar
who,
can't even understand him, bro.
Yeah. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about language barrier.
You're gonna need a translator for the officials.
Yeah. But they can shoot. I'd probably go Hampus, no? Hampus is a
Okay.
good
Oh,
one.
so you got an IGL in there.
Yeah, we'll put Hampus in there. I think he's that. I mean, I think Bleed. I've got 2 Bleed there. I've gone against my my problem of you having players from multiple places, but they've been doing really good, by the way. Everyone was like memeing on them for a while, but like because they are RMRs, but they've been doing 6 since. Really good.
Vladden looks a lot better than Longs, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Oh, whatever. I was gonna say I was just gonna just search bleed now.
Yeah, they lost to
they've been
Mouse
farming,
NXT
mate.
yesterday or the day before, actually, which was I think it was today, actually.
I mean, they
Yeah,
are
it was,
like
yeah.
track record wise, they are on a pretty
Doing well.
decent run. Yeah. A lot
Yeah,
of
everyone was like, I mean, they've done much better than TSM, haven't they? I know
Oh,
they've just,
heaps better.
like, they're sort of comparable, I guess, in terms of what they wanted to do. But yeah, wild. Go on, then, Mazu. We got for your one.
Yeah, I'm not really
Another
sure about
Danish
the last one. No, I'm not gonna pick a lot. 3 Danish player, you know the core. You know, you got they can play Danish qualies, all that stuff. I'm gonna either pick PR from Mouse XT or Fathom. What do you think? Go on, Dan. You gotta pick this one.
Team, mate.
Huh?
It's your team.
Alright, I'm gonna pick PR, so we got some talent in there. The Czech guy.
Got some youth as well.
Yeah, really young team. 3 young guys.
Yeah,
Fair.
I think my team takes that easy.
feel
Yeah,
like the
but I-
language barrier on yours, Pat.
Yeah. You got 3 star players, Dan. I got 2
Listen.
anchors, and I've got
They can do Counter-Strike English. They can say they can
One
say
B.
yeah.
Look,
One B, one A.
if they're in the FPL queue, they know how to deal with it. Just get on with the game.
Exactly. They'll be fine. Kai can translate. Cabby will be alright. They'll be alright. They'll be
So,
fine.
Are you thinking the team's fully going to be in Europe or they're fully going to be in South America? How are we playing it with Demal?
Fully Europe. Demal's got to move, I'm afraid.
Yeah.
We're gonna have
I
to
was
work
gonna
that
say,
one out.
I don't even think like the ruling would allow them to play from South America, Josh, would it? It's like
No, 'cause-
minimum
no,
3.
No, well, I was under the impression with the RMRs, as long as the team is living in that area, then they can just participate. No.
Really?
Yeah, because like as an example, like the Greyhound guys, like the FlyQuest, I'm sure that like they could participate in the EU RMR if they wanted. Like if they moved over, I'm sure I might have to look at the wording, but I'm basically sure that if the team lives, like doesn't just boot camp, but like actually lives in that area, they can participate where the RMR is.
I think so, yeah. I think that's how it works.
Well, there you go. Just ship them all off to South America, and it's a free
That might be
free
tough, to be
America
honest.
slot.
Yeah, true. You think more people would do that though if that was the case, no? You think you'd have seen a couple of people actually
Bro,
try?
how many like Europeans are gonna be like, right, we're going to MENA?
Oh, Bleed
like,
would have done it, wouldn't they? Bleed, we'll throw them over to South America for a month. We'd definitely make it. TSM, the sticker money, it would counter it. Like if you had, it would work out, wouldn't
If they
it?
make it.
It'd work out. They'd have a very good chance. Might be something to do with the orgs, maybe, like where the orgs based, because some of them, like the blast qualies, like we can play the UK one because Viperio is based in the UK, even though we have like no UK players. So maybe it's something like that. Yeah. So because I think at the last one it caused a bit of a stir because.
Oh, because Endpoint, right? We're a like European team at the time, and
yeah, and B8, they were gonna. Apparently they're UK. That's a UK org supposedly. I didn't know.
really?
That. Yeah.
Because
they
they
were-
Oh.
yeah.
Let me have a look at this.
And so they were actually allowed to play it, but they didn't end up playing it because they qualified through the other one. But they were signed up, so they were gonna. Yeah, some random ones out there. Obviously, Fnatic could have played it as well.
Yeah,
trying
they
to
have in the past. I think Fnatic have played in a couple of the Blast.
Yeah, they got a lot of invites to the like UK close qualies and like the European event stuff. So yeah.
But
Yeah.
you can't participate in the open qual. You can get invited, but you can't just play in the open qual.
No, we
without
can.
being-
Yeah,
Oh,
we can just
really?
play it. Yeah, it's on the 8th. It's the 18th of this month. We can just sign up. Yeah, because
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, so the only thing you can't play in right now if you're not UK is you literally UKIC. I think.
Great ruling
Yeah.
that.
Yeah, get in.
Fair enough. Happy there, Josh?
Yeah, I got nothing really else to add.
There you go. 9 AM games soon to come, boys. Thank you very much for joining
Yeah.
us.
Thank you guys.
Thanks for having us.
Anytime. Thank you very much for everyone at home. We'll see you in the next episode. Until then, goodbye.